Hi everyone, welcome back to the Excel Masterclass, and in this session we're going to cover off pivot tables. Pivot tables are Excel's method of rolling things up. So everything that we've done so far has been via formulas. So we've done sum ifs, we've done count ifs, we've put things into graphs, we've rolled up into weeks using the week num and year formula. Actually, pivot tables do something similar. Now, pivot tables have their place. So my preference, if I'm putting a sheet together where I am adding data to it, either daily or weekly or just regularly, then I would prefer to actually have a calculation sum ifs that give me what I need. And they automatically update, or I can fill more lines if I need to as more data comes in, really easily. So my preference would be to do it like this. However, if you've just got a one-off piece of sheet that you just want to have a look and maybe see volumes and group by or whatever it is, you will find that pivot tables are really quite handy. So I tend to do a mix. I use a mix. It really depends on what I want to do with the data and how often I'm going to get it, which one I choose. But I am going to show you pivot tables as well, and then you can decide which is the best method for you. And I'm going to highlight all of the cells because, again, I want to future-proof it. If I go and add some stuff to it, then I want to be able to refresh the pivot table and be able to collect the new data that I've added. So I'm going to highlight all of the rows, and I'm just going to click on Insert Pivot Table. You can either choose to do put it into sorry, this is the range. You can change the rate. You can either choose to put it into a brand new worksheet, or you can actually put it in the existing location if you want. If you do existing location, you just have to choose a cell to populate it into. So you might want to populate it into L1, for example, because I know that that's a space. I don't want to do that. I do actually want to put it into a new sheet, so I'm just going to click OK. And this is my start of a pivot table. So you can see there's like a blank entry over here, and then on the right hand side we have the different headings, and then in the bottom here you've got different fields. Now play around with this as much as you like, but the rows gives you the rows on the left hand side. The values here will add things up. It's up to you. You can click on it and choose to count it, add it, do percentage if you want. So let's just look at rows first. So let me put fruits in the rows. Yep, so you can see I've now got apple, orange, pear, pomegranate. I can put week ending into the columns. Okay, so you can now see we've got the week ending. There's a blank in there which we can take out later, and a grand total. And then what I want to do is I want to sum how much we've sold. Okay, and you can see, there we go. We can see in week 37 we sold 51 fruit, 183 fruit, 170 fruit. And if I compare that with what I did over here, we've got the exact same figures in here. Okay. So we can see the pivot table is doing exactly what we did with our sum ifs. Like I say, this is a really nice, quick and easy way to do things if you've only got a one-off. But actually taking the time to build a table with sum ifs makes it a lot easier when you come to do adding data all the time. So, but if you just have to do this as a one-off, sometimes doing this is an easier way to do it. So we can also put in the total cost, and what we get then is we get like different sum of total costs. Like sum of sold, sum of total cost. Now you'll see that we don't know that's a cost because it's not in the right format. So we can click down here, and we can go into field value settings. And then there's various things that we can do over here. I still want to keep it as a sum, but we could change that to count or average or anything if we wanted to. But I'm going to keep that as a sum, and I'm going to click on number format. And then I'm going to change that to currency. And I do want to have my decimal points in. I could take them out if I want, but I do want to keep my decimal points in. And we've got all the same summary things that you would normally have in Excel. So we can change it if it's negative to red or something along those lines. I don't have any negatives, so this is not going to make a difference in my table, but I can click OK now. And then click OK again. And now you can see that in my total cost column, I have figures now instead of just numbers. Like I've got the pound signs in front, so we can see that that's money now. And if we go right to the end, we've also got a sum of total sold and a sum of total cost. I can take out sum of sold. You can have it like that instead, and just have the total cost in, so I can see exactly how much I've made over the last few days. Okay.